Green. All right. It's going to be on Frost. And let the Zerg versus Zerg begin. Spawning in the bottom left position of the map, that is Frost. Playing for Fnatic, the red Zerg player, Zanster. Up against the blue Zerg player from Team Evil Geniuses in the northwest position, it is Jaedong. Kind of nice. Haven't actually been able to cast either of these players for a little while. Jaedong, of course, has been on a bit of a traveling spree. In all honesty, I'm kind of wondering if that's going to impact his play at all. As we said earlier, he's actually still in the United States. He was there for a little while. He had a couple tournaments to compete in. If you guys tuned in, WCS Season 3 Finals, Jaedong competed in, then competed in the BlizzCon Finals in Anaheim, California. So not surprising that he'd still be in the United States. I think Evil Geniuses has a team house in San Francisco, so that could be where Jaedong is playing from. And that's pretty good as far as the ping goes to the American server. So for this ZVZ Zanster, I honestly haven't seen too much of. He's obviously going to be a bit of an underdog here against Jaedong, who did come in second place at the BlizzCon Global Finals. So, not to see. Looks like he wants to open up pretty brave. He's just going to go hatchery first. He's not worried about being hit by any early aggression. Frost is a large map. The spawn locations are quite far away from each other. They both spawn on the left side of the map, which means these overlords will reveal the starting positions very soon. So now they both know where each other are, which is, it's somewhat helpful, but they also both went hatchery first. Jaedong not trying to take any sort of early aggressive risk, and that basically means we're going to have a pretty slow start to this game. Jaedong opts for the gas, then spawning pool. Zanster goes straight into spawning pool. So there's still a possibility that Zanster could try to play this game gasless. Maybe go for some sort of evolution chamber wall off at the natural expansion and play defensively with queens. But Jaedong would spot this, so Zanster does take his gas. He's not gonna do anything unusual himself. So Jaedong with this slightly faster gas, I don't think it has enough of an impact to really matter in this game. The gas before pool or the pool into gas, there's not really honestly too much of a difference between them, except that Jaedong will start his speed a little bit earlier, maybe about a half a minute most. So hatcheries are finishing up for both of our Zerg players. Keep in mind the next match in this group is going to be San versus Hyun, a PVZ. So the winner of this match will go up against the winner of that following match, and the loser likewise against the other losers. So Jaedong's still mining gas. He has the potential to basically go for a Baneling Nest whenever he wants. Behind this, he can do some aggression. Zanster as well. Neither of them are really pulling any punches, but now that Zanster started the speed, will he stay on the gas? Yeah. So I kind of like that both of these players are keeping the option open for this early Baneling type of play. Jaedong puts a Baneling Nest in the main. He's not worried about using it defensively to keep a queen alive in the natural. So there's definitely some already, I think, a little bit of an indicator that Jaedong could want to get aggressive if he doesn't want the Baneling Nest to get scouted out that quickly. Jaedong, on the other hand, runs two Zerglings into the natural, scouts the Baneling Nest of Zanster, and the queens should pick off these Zerglings, but not before he gets into the main base, and gets actually a nice full read on basically everything that Zanster's up to. Sees the gas, okay, it's still being mined, and these honestly look like almost mirror setups between both players. There's nothing unusual at all about how either of these guys are taking this match. Jaedong has the option now to go for a big speeding attack. He's actually just droning up very heavily. It looks like if he does anything, he's going to go for a very heavy 2-base drone saturation. That Zergling in the main, by the way, finally killed off by Zanster. And I think there's a little bit of comfort for Jaedong knowing that Zanster's doing exactly the same thing as Jaedong. And Jaedong's got to be feeling confident, so actually choosing to take a second gas, and I think this is an indicator that he could go for the lair. Yeah, there's the lair. He just wants to play the game out a little bit longer. He doesn't want to risk any type of early speedling, baneling, all in, and really try to bring any heavy levels of aggression. But Zanster, on the other hand, he's starting up his Roach Warren, taking some additional gas, guys. There's no lair yet. He does have a lot of minerals banked up. Ooh, this speedling gets in. He definitely sees this Roach Warren. Very nice for Jaedong. to be able to spot that. I think he also saw the gas in the natural expansion, so he has to know that there's something a little bit fishy going on. This could be a huge Roach Baneling attack coming in from the Fnatic Zerg player, and I think this is going to be a bit difficult for Jaedong to hold. He has one Spine Crawler. He's starting up his own Roach Horn. That lair really won't do too much to help deal with this, though. He won't be able to get Mutalisks out in time. I think he needs to add a couple Spine Crawlers, in all honesty. I'm wondering how exactly he'll react, because another Speedling does manage to get in. He doesn't see too many of the units, though. And with the lair now coming in for Zanster, he's actually decided to get his own lair, which I think is most interesting, because I guess he was scouted. Jaedong wasn't honestly super prepared for it. Zanster has 2 Banelings here, but I don't think there's actually enough here from Zanster to completely kill him off. He didn't actually build any roaches, and these 2 Banelings got picked off for free. There are a lot of Speedlings, but I think Jaedong with just a couple of Banelings and his own Zerglings and the Queen, now with the Roach Horn, should be fine. Roach speed starting up for Jaedong, as well as that +1 attack. He's canceled the lair, Zanster. Okay, so now he's going to push out the roaches. It looks like Zanster was trying to fake out Jaedong and make Jaedong think that he was committing to the lair tech, but no, Jaedong with the Overseer Scout gets a perfect read. Scouts literally everything with these Overseers. He knows that it's just a hatchery tech based setup, and that's, look, 20 Speedlings, 13 Banelings being morphed outside of Jaedong's base. Will he be able to hold? That's the big question now. There are quite a few roaches moving up. There's still only 1 Spine Crawler, so it's going to go basically down to just how many units Jaedong can churn out with this a little bit of early drone investments that he made. There's still a lot of forces here. Zanster's breaching the front. Jaedong's actually going to lose all of these roaches, it seems. He wants the Banelings to detonate on them. He's starting to wait, trying to get his own Banelings out. The Banelings will get into the middle line. Jaedong's going to lose a ton of drones. A great detonation for Zanster, but now the Banelings are coming in for Jaedong to try to soften up these roaches. It doesn't look like Jaedong has enough. Zanster pressing in. These drones are taking a huge amount of hits. The Queen getting backed up against the mineral line. Jaedong's trying to push out a few more roaches, but no luck just yet. And Zanster is looking phenomenal in this first game. A little bit of mind games, and I think Jaedong, with that third base and the lack of Spine Crawlers, a little bit too greedy, is going to lose game number 1. Nice play by Zanster.